Hey guys, Lauren Wendell here, aka The Fit Law. Happy Sunday. Thanks for joining me. You guys know that I go live every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in my kitchen. And I'm really excited about this recipe because if you guys were on my live video the other day about meal prep and about meal planning, this is one of the recipes that's on my meal plan. I posted it in my group and I was like, you know, they started asking me all these questions, and one of them was, we want your turkey burger recipe. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll give it to you guys, but I'm just going to do it in the live video. So just a little thing that's going to be happening tonight. I'm not actually going to cook these. Me and my husband already had dinner. This is actually going to be meal prep for the week. So what's going to happen is I'm going to make the recipe. I'm going to teach you guys how to freeze these or store them in your fridge so that you can use them at a later time. One of the biggest things that helps on a healthy diet and a healthy lifestyle is meal prep, right? So I've done a lot today. I already cut up vegetables. I've done, washed my fruits, stuff like that. I've done all of that already. So this was a protein that I wanted. We're eating this Tuesday night. So what I'm going to do, teach you how to make the patties, and then you can cook them at a later time, you know, whatever you want to do. So these are loaded turkey burgers. And what I mean is they are full of stuff. I think turkey is very bland. It doesn't have a lot of flavor. It's kind of hard to deal with sometimes, like if you don't load it up with seasoning and spices. So I really try to put a lot of stuff in them because it just makes it more flavorful, right? They're not super high in fat, so they just kind of are like, bleh. You know, it's like a bland piece of chicken. You need to be able to season it properly. I'm going to pull up questions, so if you guys have questions throughout the live video, please feel free to just comment them below, and I will get to them as soon as I see them. All right, let me turn this down. Okay, so first thing you're going to need, 2 pounds of ground turkey. I already have this in a bowl. We're just going to set this off to the back for a minute, get the rest of it done, and then we'll mix it all together, okay? So just stick this in the back. The other thing that's amazing about this recipe is you can also use this for meatloaf. So if you're not a big burger person and you want to do meatloaf instead, same recipe totally will work for meatloaf. So first thing we're doing, you guys know, jalapenos. I mean, flavor, a little bit of spice, good. Cause again, bland turkey, jalapenos, good combination. So we're just gonna cut the top off, okay? Really easy. I have my little dump bowl right here. And then we're going to cut it in half. And we're going to roast this because, again, it just milds out the flavor a little bit. I'm actually going to leave the seeds in this time. Oh my gosh, I know. It's crazy. Lauren never leaves the seeds in her jalapenos. But I'm going to do it. So I have these just going. I'm not doing any oil, nothing. They're just going in a 400-degree oven. I'm going to let those roast for a few minutes while I talk to you about the rest of the ingredients, and then we'll pull it out, okay? All right. That's done. So next thing we need is a 1/4 of a white onion. I'll cut the top off of this. And then the rest of this I'm going to just slice and put in my meal prep for the week. Okay. I'm doing a little bit, I know I always teach you guys how to dice an onion, but we're not actually going to dice this. We're going to put it in a food processor. And blend it up so that they're really, really little pieces. And I'm doing this specifically because I just think they taste better this way. Like you get more of like an even onion flavor in the entire burger, and you don't have any of the bigger pieces. Because even when you mince them, I feel like this always happens to me. I make turkey burgers, I put onions in them, and I always get a big, huge bite of onion, like every single time it happens, right? So I'm trying to avoid that. So I'm going to try it with this little food processor and see how that works. If you don't have a food processor, you totally can just mince them up, no big deal. But I'm gonna do it this way, and we're gonna see how it goes. Okay, I get it to this point, and then I just kind of cut off the little end piece. Boom, done. So again, we're doing a 1/4, so I'm gonna cut it in half. This is gonna go in a bag, and we'll cut it in half again. That's all we're using right there, okay? Got a little bag and stick these in the fridge. All right, I'm trying to go through my steps in my head here. I also prepped fajita meat for the week. So I took just flank steak and taco seasoning that I've made, and I just sprinkled that on top and put it in a bag, you know, massaged it in and stuck that in the fridge. So we're gonna grill that tomorrow. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge. So I have this tiny little food processor. Now, mine is it's a hand blender, a hand food processor, hand-powered food processor, jeez. And so it just kind of works like this. I'll just show you guys. It's kind of cool. right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just make this a little bit easier and I'm gonna cut the root off right here, okay? And I'm just gonna like, just in better pieces so it processes a little easier, okay? Because this isn't, obviously there's no motor on this, it's all hand powered. So the easier I can make it on myself, the better, okay? All right, now we're gonna place this off to the side. We're gonna wait until our jalapeno's done, and then I'm gonna throw that in there, and I'll just do it all together because why do it twice when I can just do it once, right? So we're gonna leave that off to the side. Let me check here. When you're meal prepping, do you ever put your proteins in the freezer? Yes, and I'm actually going to talk about that at the end. I'm going to actually teach you how to freeze these individually because that's the biggest thing is I think people overbuy, and I talked about this in that food prep video and the meal planning video, that I feel like people overbuy on proteins, they overbuy on, on vegetables, and then they don't know what to do with them, and it all goes bad, and then they're like, oh my gosh, healthy eating's so expensive. It's not if you know what to do with it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to individually freeze these so that we can just pull out the portions you need. So if you only need 3 burgers, like you can just pull out 3 burgers, right? All right, we're going to do 2 large garlic cloves. Now, if you guys follow me on Snapchat, you already saw this in the picture. We're going to put spinach in these. And we're going to be a little bit sneaky because you're not even going to know that they're in here because we're going to wilt them down first. So we're going to take a little bit of olive oil, and that's why I have this pan behind me. We have a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to put about 1.5 teaspoons. I don't really need a ton, okay? So just like a little bit. We're going to take some minced garlic, and we're going to start our garlic in a cold pan, and then we're going to wilt down our spinach. And that spinach is going to go right in these turkey burgers. So we're hiding vegetables. So if you are like really bad with vegetables, and you're like, Lauren, I hate veggies, I never eat them. I hear that all the time, like way more than you would think. This is a really good way to sneak them in. This is also a good way to get vegetables in your children. Spinach does not have like a super crazy flavor, like it really doesn't. So if you just like wilt it down, it turns into pretty much nothing, and you can hide it in a lot of different things. That one didn't want to peel for me, so we're gonna give it a good whack. Okay, let's get these minced up here. All right. Now, the reason I start garlic in a cold pan instead of a hot pan is I think a lot of people do this the wrong way. They will turn their oil on, they'll get it really screaming hot, and then they throw their garlic in. And the problem with that is that garlic cooks so quickly that you start burning it before it's cooked all the way through. Before it's like, you start burning it before you actually can extract any of the flavor. And then you get that burnt, bitter garlic taste, and that's just gross. So this is just a little trick, and it's actually, I think, a little bit easier, is you just start it in a cold pan instead, and then it starts to fry a little bit slower, and then it doesn't burn as fast. All right. Let's get this. Oh, and for those of you who are looking for this full recipe, it is in the comment, like it's in the, oh my gosh, what's it called? The title or the details or whatever above the video. So just know that that's there. You can go and stick that on Pinterest, save that to your Pinterest board. And all of my recipes are on my blog at www.thefitlaw.com/blog. And they're also all on my Pinterest, which is pinterest.com/fitlaw. So they're all in one place over there if you guys want to browse through them. Okay, so we're going to take these 2 cloves, all right, and we're going to stick them in what? Cold pan, okay? We're going to turn this on a medium heat. All right, and then we're just gonna wait for a minute. We're gonna let them sizzle, like let that cook for a second, and then we're gonna throw all of our spinach in there and wilt it down. Let me rinse my hand. I can smell that jalapeno. Smells good. All right. Cleaning up as I go. Put my garlic back. Where's my thing? Oh. Okay, all right. So we're gonna wait for a second for that to start. And we're also going to prep some herbs. So here's kind of like what else is going in here. We're going to do some dill. We're going to do some parsley. So this is going to be a very, it's going to be a very like beautiful patty, right? Because we're going to have a lot of green in with the onions, and we'll have the spinach. So they're going to look really, really gorgeous when we're done. So we're going to do a little bit of parsley. I would say no more than a 1/2 tablespoon. When it's all said and done. And then we're going to use some dill as well. And that's really going to help complement, I think, the flavors that are in here, because we're going to put a little bit of lemon juice in here. We're going to put that jalapeno, which is going to mellow it out a little bit. So I think everything in here, it's pretty balanced for turkey. So should taste pretty good. All right, just picking out the stems because I just don't want any big stem pieces. All right, let's see. Love turkey burgers. Aside from fajitas and turkey burgers, what's on your menu for meal prep? So I actually just added it. I actually added the week meal plan to my Pinterest. There's a Pinterest board on there with the meal plan. I'm trying to think. We do steak and green beans a lot. I have some freezer burritos, or not some freezer burritos. I have breakfast burritos that I do a lot with like egg and feta, and I'm trying to think what else is on there. I do a lot of Greek yogurt. Honestly, guys, my first meal plan for the week is always, or like for the month, is always pretty simple. And here's the reason. And again, I talked about this a little bit in my prep video. You want your first meal plan that you ever do to be extremely simple for one reason. It's your first one, right? And you want to be able to expand from there. So it gives you a really good idea of like, okay, this is something I like, this is something I don't like, and then next week you can adjust from there. Just make sure this is minced really, really well. I'm going to get a small bowl and stick this off to the side until we're ready to add everything in. Actually, you know what? We're not going to do that. Just kidding. We're just going to add this right to our turkey because why do more dishes? My poor husband did all the dishes today, and then I just come in here and make a mess. So we're going to stick the parsley in here. All right. And I usually would rinse my knife, but I'm going to do some dill as well. And I mean, it's all herbs, right? It's good. All right, let's see. Never knew about the garlic. Thanks. Yes, it would be cool if Sunday morning you posted ingredients so we can cook with you. I tried it, and you guys didn't actually respond really well, so that's why I started doing it this way. Okay, guys, so next we're going to do dill. I would say about the same amount of dill as you did parsley. It's not that much, maybe like a half a tablespoon total, okay? Fresh herbs, you can get away with using less than dried. So if you have dried herbs, just double the amount, okay? All right, so garlic is good to go. Now we're going to just throw in, I have 2 cups of spinach here. We're just going to throw this in the pan and we're going to wilt it down. Come on. Okay, we don't need any other liquid, nothing in there. We're just going to let that cook down for a minute, okay? Now my 10-year-old son wants turkey burgers. That's awesome, though. I mean, getting your kids to eat healthy, that's awesome. My kids are not, honestly, they're not like the healthiest kids in the world. Like, they eat okay, but they're not, they'd much rather have like pizza and mac and cheese than turkey burgers. I mean, I can get them to eat them, but it's not like their favorite, right? Okay. There's one more big stem in there. Okay, so we're gonna bunch this up behind our knife. Now this bowl's in my way, hold on. All right. Okay, dill is good to go. Yes, it is kind of messy. Just understand, like, when you're using fresh herbs, they're gonna get a little bit kind of everywhere. So just be prepared for that. Okay, we're gonna throw that in there. See, look, my fingers are like green now. Okay, it's a little bit more. Stick that off to the side. Now I am gonna rinse my knife because that's all the herbs we're doing. Keep the towel handy. Guys, this wilts down so quickly. And once it's completely, come on, get off. Once it's completely wilted, it's going to, be nothing. Like, it's going to be barely anything in a measuring cup, like less than an eighth. It really cooks down a lot. So you don't need You don't need a ton of spinach to get the nutritional value, right? I always get that question, especially for 21-day fixers, whether they want to use it cooked or raw when they're measuring it in their containers. And you definitely want to use it raw because an entire bag of spinach is going to cook down to like almost nothing. It completely wilts because it's a grain. So just understand that you're still getting the nutritional value when you cook it like this, okay? So you don't need a ton. We're going to check these jalapenos. Those are not done yet. Need a couple more minutes. Answer some questions. Okay, I need a cutting lesson from you. I'm starving watching you cook. Yeah, I was thinking about doing some like cooking 101 classes for you guys. Tip for the phone on the computer, wrap it in cling wrap. And then you can keep your screen clean. I don't understand what that means. I don't know what you're talking about. But okay, so we're going to add some other stuff in here. Salt and pepper, duh. And then a couple things that I think are going to surprise you. We're going to put a little bit of lemon juice in here because we have like the herbs and the fresh, and so I wanted a little bit of lemon juice. I don't want a ton, maybe just like a cup, maybe like a full tablespoon, I would say. I don't know, guys. I can't remember my measurements. I have it all in the recipe, but I can't remember what I wrote. So we're just going to do a little bit of lemon juice in here. You get some acid. I'm trying to pick out the seeds so they don't end up in my burgers. And you can just use your hand as a strainer. You don't need to get a strainer dirty. See, I just caught 3 seeds in my hand. All right. So I guess it's about the juice of half a lemon. All right. Get rid of this. My husband always tells me this story. He used to work at a sushi, like, Chinese restaurant. And his sushi chef always used to cut an onion in half and he would wash his hands with it because it's antibacterial. And so he always says that. He's like, you know that. You can wash your hands with that. Okay, a little bit of sweetener. So you could do honey. I know this is a little out there, but just bear with me. I'm going to do a little bit of maple syrup. Just a teaspoon, just a little bit, just to counterbalance the jalapeno. Again, we're kind of doing some fresh and some sweet and some spicy, okay? So just like 1 teaspoon, not a lot. Boom, done, okay? And then we're also going to add some Worcestershire sauce. Just, again, a little bit, just for flavor. That's it. All right. Put these away. Come on. Okay, you can see already how much that's cooked down. We're gonna let it go a little bit more. Okay, now we're gonna add some spices, and by spices I mean salt and pepper, because that's all you need, girl. You got it. When you're checking the comments, you can keep your screen clean. Oh, if you put your phone in a baggie. Oh, got it. Yeah, I probably should do that. It's not that serious though. Okay, we're gonna do some salt. Again, it's bland. This is 2 pounds of turkey. You can go be a little over the top with your seasoning. Black pepper. Don't be scared. All right, that is good. Take this right out of the pan. So now we have the cooked garlic, right? We have that roasted garlic flavor, and we have the spinach all in there. Throw it all in here. Go for it. I love cooked garlic. If you've never had just roasted garlic, it's freaking incredible. It's so good. All right, that jalapeno is done. Let's pull that out. I hate doing this, but I have to get the skin off, so this is going to be hot for a second. Pull it over. Okay. You should be able to just pull the skin off, honestly. It should be pretty easy. But it's hot, so just be careful. Come on. Get off. Oh, I guess we're just going to pull the seeds out. Remember that time that I said I was going to leave the seeds in? Yeah, they just came right out. So, no, we're not going to use them. Don't tell Brandon. Don't tell him. But it should really just peel off pretty easily, actually. Unless you're me and then everything's super complicated. Okay, come on. All right. I'm just going to cut this in like fourths. And then we're going to stick this in this food processor, okay? All right, let's see. I'm hungry now. Make you some turkey burgers. All right, we're going to throw this in here with that onion. Remember, we put that onion in here earlier. I'm going to do the entire jalapeno. Get the skin off. Jalapeno number 2. Well, half. The other half of the jalapeno, I should say. Sorry, I just realized that's blocking it. You guys, so now you guys can't watch me burn my fingers off. Sorry. Okay, these seeds didn't come out. You guys were so impressed by my knife skills, and now I feel like I'm just being very disappointing. All right, we'll leave a couple seeds in, just a few. You can make these seedless though, guys, like no pressure to keep your seeds in. Okay. Get this out of here. Okay, now look at how cool this little food processor is. It's so cool. I just stick it in here. And it cuts it all up for me. Like, how sweet is that? Oh, I should have said that. So somebody just asked how many burgers this is going to make. So it's 2 pounds. So whenever you have a pound of meat, you should always do quarter pounders because that's usually about a serving size is a quarter pound. So it's going to be 4 per pound, so 8 total. 8 total patties that I'm going to be making. Okay, so I'm not going to do this to the point where it's like pulverized. That's why I used this one instead of my actual food processor. Like 2 more. 1, 2. How can you tell if a jalapeno is spicy? Usually, I think the test is usually how big they are. I think that the bigger the pepper, the less spicy they are. And I think that's usually pretty accurate, but honestly, I'm not sure. So don't quote me on that. Okay, we're going to stick this in here. You guys know I'm a big believer. Just get your hands in there. Whew. Ow, my eyes. That onion, though. Okay. All right. All right. That's a really good, like, little food processor for pico de gallo, too. Like, it's so easy. Okay, the best tools you have are what? Anybody tell me? And yes, the seeds, too. If you take the seeds out, it's way less spicy. Let's see. Where did you get the food processor? It's Pampered Chef. Do you eat these bunless? I do. I don't eat them with a bun. I also sometimes will do them in a lettuce wrap if I really need, like, the wrap there. But I don't think it's necessary. I usually just eat my burgers with a fork. Okay, let me see. What are the best tools you have? Your hands! Yes! I love you guys. You're the best. All right, so what are we going to do? We're just going to get right in there. It's going to be a little bit warm just because the jalapeno and the spinach, but don't worry. It's okay. You won't die. It's like my favorite line ever. You won't die if you do it. I promise. You really won't. It makes a gross noise, but you're not going to die. So if you wanted, guys, you could totally, like I said earlier, you could totally just make this, like form this into a meatloaf and just make it into a meatloaf. Like, right? What's the difference, really? It's one giant meatloaf instead of small patties, right? Okay. Good to go. All right. Easy. So now we're going to form in this cat. Oh my gosh, get out of my way. I almost just lost my wedding ring, so we're going to put those over here. Again, don't tell Brandon. This whole live feed just needs to be a secret, okay? I'm like dropping stuff and like almost losing my wedding ring and yeah. Okay, so I have this done. What I'm going to do is just rinse my hand. I'm not going to wash it, obviously, because I still need to form these into patties. And then we're going to individually wrap these in saran wrap. And I'm going to show you why in a second. Okay, so I rinsed that. Some cling wrap. Get a giant bag. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to make these patties, and then we're going to wrap them individually like this, okay? So just use your judgment. Again, this should make about 8. I don't need this much spinach in one burger. Come on. All right. Form these into a little patty. Boom, done. So I'm going to wrap them and put them in the bag. And then what I'm going to do is I can freeze them. So then when I need a patty, all I have to do is take out the amount that I need and just thaw them in my fridge. So it's not super inconvenient. Like, you don't have to thaw, everything out at once. I don't have to cook them all at once. Like, I can just take out what I need. I do this with my chicken breasts too, especially if you have really big ones at the store. Like, if you get, you guys know, like, especially if you have families, you buy like the value pack, right? You get all of the bigger ones. I individually wrap my chicken breasts in cling wrap, and then I stick them in a large bag. And that way, when I need chicken breasts, I just go in and take out 2 or 3, and I'm good to go. All right, so that was one. That one's it can be a little bit bigger. It would be good with a slice of grilled pineapple. That is an awesome idea. If you've never grilled pineapple, okay, best thing for grilled pineapple. Cut them into, rings, and then spray them. If you ever have that coconut oil spray, oh my gosh, me and Brandon do this during the summer all the time. You spray them with coconut oil, right? And then when you take them off, you take one of like a little baster brush and brush them with honey. And they are like, oh my gosh, to die for, outrageously good. So this process is obviously not that exciting, but you're just going to form these. Now, here's the thing. When you start cooking these, I would highly recommend not doing them in an outdoor grill, okay? And here's why. Turkey has very little fat. It's a lean meat, right? So it's going to stick to the grill. So if you're doing it in an outside grill, there's a really good chance that you're going to put them on and not be able to flip them. They're going to fall apart. So I recommend doing them inside in a grill pan instead, like in a nonstick grill pan, instead of bringing them outside. It's just going to be easier, and it's going to save you a lot of headache. So I recommend doing them in a nonstick grill pan inside, okay? All right, so we have 4. Okay. I didn't mix enough in the bottom, I don't think. Boom, done. Okay, yeah, and if you wanted to do these in a bun, a couple other ideas. Like, you can do them with a lettuce wrap. That's always great. Those flat out breads, or like doing them in a whole wheat tortilla. If you need to have it wrapped, like, it's okay to not eat it on a bun. A bun is actually usually 2 servings of carbs, right? Because it's got a top and a bottom. So usually they're 2 servings. Or doing them like on an English muffin. Like, you can still do the carbs and have that like sandwich feel without all the carbs of an actual bun. So don't be afraid to like venture out and try different ones. So we need to get 3 more patties out of that. I think we can do it. I believe in us. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave 2, 3. I'm going to leave 3 of these in my fridge, and I'm going to freeze the rest of them because the rest of them I need for tomorrow, or for Tuesday. So they will be totally fine in my fridge until Tuesday. So what I'm going to do is freeze the rest, and then I'm just going to keep out the ones that I need. Can you cook them on a George Foreman grill? Absolutely. Okay, funny story. I kind of might have thrown away my husband's George Foreman grill when I moved in with him. Just saying. That might have gone in the Goodwill pile. I don't know who would have done that, but it ended up there somehow. Didn't make it to the new house when we moved. George Foreman grills are great. Don't get me wrong. I think I'm like a little bit of a culinary snob, and I'm like, just buy a grill pan. But they're really good. When my husband lived by himself, he used to get giant pieces of steak and cook them in his George Foreman. So we got 2 more. So I'm just gonna cut this in half. All right, last 2 patties, and then I can wash my hands and get it all out, guys. I hate this. Oh, like ready. I hate having like my hands this dirty for this long, you know, because usually it's like just for a few seconds and then I'm like, I can rinse them. Okay, last one. Okay. Done. Wrap that. All right, guys, let me wash my hands and then I'll show you how I store these. Hold on. Okay. So, get this out of the way. I'm going to just store these. I need to wipe this down. I'm just going to store these in a Ziploc bag, but because they're individually wrapped, I can just pull them out as I need them. So I'm going to just going to stick these in here like this, because now they're not going to stick together. I'm going to keep I like pick through them. I'm like, which ones do I want to eat? Those 3. All right. And now I have 5 extra. Actually, I lied. I'm going to keep out 4 because my husband will take another one for work. So I'm going to have 4 frozen and then 4 in the fridge. Boom, guys, look. Done. Easy. Those are really not that hard, right? And they're going to be flavorful. They're not going to be just like bland turkey burgers. Stick those right in my freezer. And just to show you really quick, my chicken that I did this with, if I can find it. I did this with chicken as well. So as you can see, they're all individually wrapped. So I can just pull out what I need and then just stick them in the fridge to defrost. That's all I got for you guys. Super simple recipe. Hope you enjoyed it. Definitely make these. They're awesome for meal prep. They're awesome for a healthy dinner. If you want to see, I don't know what picture I can put up, but if you want to see the picture on Tuesday, I will make sure to put up a picture on my Snapchat and on my Instagram on Tuesday when we actually physically cook these. So feel free to head over and check that out. I always put recipes up on my Snapchat too, so if you don't want to wait till Sunday, feel free to hop over there, and I usually have them up too. So again, just to reiterate, if you want to see the full recipe, go ahead and click in the description above. Head over to my blog, which is www.thefitlaw.com/blog, or click on that link and you can get there. And you can also see these recipes all on my Pinterest. So have a great night, guys. I am going to head out and stick these in the fridge, and I will talk to you later. All right, bye-bye.